to this event called Cannes Lions. It's very famous. And they had one of the podcasters. He's doing one of the very, very famous podcasts. And he was talking about how he prepares for episodes. And they were asking him, like, how do you prepare? And he said, I don't prepare questions. I research the person that I'm going to talk to. And then we just like have a normal flow of conversation because I don't want to limit myself to a certain set of questions. I want him to tell his story. And sometimes he was talking about this person that he had invited, and he was going to talk to him about tech and product. And then they ended up talking about happiness because that person had a much more interesting story about that. And this is what I want today. Like, I don't want to limit us. I want to know the story behind it. And I was actually going to start by asking you, like, I know that you're so excited about this. I'm very, very excited about this. But I want to know, why are you so excited about it?
Yeah, and I think the excitement, I think if I'd step back, I think, I had done a lot of things in my career, and I think, built some good things. I had a good teams around me. And I mean, I think privileged to be having a career like what I have. I think what what I saw in this case is, and as we're walking into this, was one was like we had our back against the wall when we starting this, and that was like, definitely not a comfortable feeling, but something that, sometimes best things come out when you are like on the edge, and trying to do something crazy. So that was one part. But I think as we walked into it, and then as we started developing the product, what like really connected to me is, what we're able to produce for the customers, what we can take on as a customer problems and solve them in a meaningful way and a delightful way, where it actually goes like 5 steps further than what you expect. When I saw that possibility, and when I saw that is something that we can unlock with power of AI, that's what got me into. It's like, yeah, this cannot be left alone, and I cannot let it go slow, because nobody's stopping for us to prove it or do anything. So we got to get this done. The whole thing, I mean, I think fundamentally, if you answer your question, is like really about, can we solve the customer problem and solve it like 10 times better than what is possible? You don't get that opportunity all the time. You get it only when you truly have found like something by looking at the customers, or a technology comes sideways and says, yeah, you can do that much better. And to me, I think AI and LLM has definitely done that. And I think that's what, got me excited. It's like, yeah, this is absolutely something that you can take many, many steps further, and we absolutely must. There's no way we can stop it here.
Yeah. And, when I met you, I think in March of this year, our conversation was around, cPanel, web hosting, WordPress, a lot of WordPress. And there is a lot of AI innovation in WordPress, but I feel with Airo Builder, it's different.
Yeah.
And it's solving another, I don't want to say another customer problem, but like the problem from a different perspective. Like, how did this all come about?
Yeah, I think that's really where it. I think like what you're saying is what it is. Like, you can solve the problems that customers have. Or you can solve them like 5, 10 times better than what you could imagine. And so the thing that I saw with WordPress coming in is, WordPress has a power. It has basically those 60, 70,000 plugins. Those plugins allow you to truly assemble the business in the box, because you have like, if you want to do like e-commerce, you can. If you want to do drop shipping, you can. You want to just collect the customer information and reach out to them, you can. You have all those things packed into the plugins, and that lets you basically achieve anything you want. And that's actually one of the reasons why we have like over 40% of the words websites built with WordPress. So that, I think, shows the power there. What was hard with WordPress is the complexity, the challenge that comes with it, the ability to assemble it. And not many people are able to assemble it very well, or they are able to assemble it, but they are not able to maintain well. And so that was the challenge I saw. On the other hand, the thing that I also saw, like somebody like Shopify or Squarespace or Wix, they were coming along and they were building only certain verticals. But when you do that vertically well, you can create really delightful outcomes. And I think that was the other thing that I saw along the way. It's like, yeah, if you want to do something, you'll have to pick something, and you have to go narrow it down and do that. What changed with AI, which is I think where it comes down to, is you can do all of that, but without having to pick a vertical. You can build a digital business without having to specialize in only one vertical. And that is possible, is what I saw. And that's what changed a lot of things for me. I think WordPress will be there and it'll remain, and we will continue to invest there. And we definitely have like really great product with Airo for WordPress now that I really think would change the way we work with WordPress. But what I also see is with Airo Builder, you can take multiple steps further. You want to like, and one of the example I shared you earlier in the week is, hey, we want to integrate with checkout.com. That would have been like a multi-month project. And then we had to work with them. We had to do this, we had to do that. But now, a couple of hours I spent over weekend and I'm able to integrate with checkout.com just like that. And all of that is done by Airo Builder for you. You don't even need to learn technology or need to know their things. I similarly did like an integration with Twilio. It was again another thing that I could just sit down and do it. And Airo Builder was able to guide me on things that I didn't know, because I'm not a developer that has ever done SMS integration. But now I can do those things. And I think that power is what is separates it from everything else that we have. And that's what gave me that, belief that, yeah, we can actually build anything. Now, what I started seeing is I could take like multiple steps further. And this is where, you can not only do what somebody's asking you to do, but you now can start thinking about what they need. And so small business owners are not looking for tools, they're looking for somebody to help them basically do those things much more seamlessly. Because if you're a baker, you want to bake the bread. You don't want to like balance your books, or you don't want to find who's coming in work today or not, and so how much do I pay them at the end of the week. That's not your primary thing. If somebody else can take care of it for them, they'll be happy. And I think with AI and agentic, we absolutely can deliver that, is my strong belief. And I think that's what made me think like, okay, that's what we can do really, really special in a ways that nobody expects. And if we are able to deliver that, if we are able to create that value, that's just going to be, much further than what anybody has imagined. And I think that's what you want. I mean, as a customer, when as a somebody that wants to create products, you want to create something that is genuinely special, and you have to believe in it yourself. And I think that's what I came to pretty quickly as Josh was doing his POC and we were going through some iterations. I felt that, wow, that power is absolutely there, and we got to cash in on it. We got to take it like to the town. So that's what I'm doing.
When you were thinking about Airo Builder, what was the one problem that you were thinking about solving from a customer perspective and also for GoDaddy?
Yeah. Yeah. I think from a customer perspective, the problem I was thinking about solving is, how do I, take care of everything else that a small business owner needs to do that they otherwise don't enjoy, and basically let them focus on the core things why they started a business. If it is a baker, go bake your bread. If you are a nail salon person, go do your things to design your beautiful things that you want. If you're a tattoo artist, go do your tattooing. If you are a selling some online products, go focus on how you want to create like those best products that you believe, because every small business owner has that something in them that they think that, no, that's what they can do special and any different than anybody else. And they need a lot of time on that, because I know like and appreciate that pride, knowing how much it takes to organize these things, that yeah, that's like a huge amount of work. And more time I will have for that, more chances of me succeeding in that. But then that is not the only thing that you need, because at the end of the day, business is like two sides. You have to create something, and then you have to be able to sell and make it successful financially. Because if you cannot make financially successful, that's not going to work. So you have to do that. And so you have to spend time on doing all those other things that are needed, from financial accounting to customer support to simply just creating a website and making sure the customers can see what you got and continually keep it fresh and reaching out to the audience. Those are all the things that you have to do. So I think, being able to do all those things without spending as much time as they did today, that's what customers' problem fundamentally I'm trying to think about and focus on. So if we can do that, much better, much simpler, much easier, I think that gives them a much more time for them to focus on everything else. And hopefully that makes them unlock their business's potential. So that's what I think the customer's point of view is. And I think for GoDaddy, the thing that we have is, I think GoDaddy has been in this business for long, so we know what it takes to deliver that. And so it starts with, you need a domain, you need to have some place where you can run your business in terms of hosting it. you will need like a lot of other tools to be able to run that. So that becomes even also part of it. Like, how do I get the necessary tools that are like, let's say, for taking an appointment, or tools for balancing my budget, or tools for creating invoices and sending them. So those things are what they need, and we know how to do that very well through many different ways. But what we unique opportunity we have is we can do all of that with an AI in a ways that is very, very, very seamless. And so I think that's going to be our power. That's where I think our opportunity is going to be, is that GoDaddy can deliver that unlike anybody else, because we already have those fundamentals. We have all the building blocks there. We just need to seamlessly connect them using AI.
Perfect. I think one thing that I did ask Dineth, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it, is there is a lot of AI noise happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like Airo Builder is coming, and there are other similar, I'm not going to say the same, but like similar tools out there. How do you feel about this, and how do you think we can differentiate ourselves from everyone else around us?
Yeah, so I think again, it fundamentally comes down to, and this was actually crystallized it for me even further when I was talking to GoDaddy investors in Tempe earlier in the month. Fundamentally, I think what we are doing that is different from everybody else is we are squarely focusing on a small business owners and squarely focusing on their needs. So we are driven primarily by what challenges they have and how we can create solution for them. I think many other players out there, that what they're doing is they're trying to win the world. Like, they want like a product that can do anything and everything. Now, could they do it? I don't know. I mean, I can't say a yes or no to that. I think that is something that you have to just go through the process and prove it for yourself. But generally, I think my life, I think what I have learned is, if you focus on a specific problem and narrow it down sufficiently, you have a much higher chance of succeeding than trying to do something that is broad based. So being able to wipe code anything is fine. That's like, somebody might crack the code at some point, who knows? But being able to wipe code your business, I think that is something that we're trying to do, and we have definitely much greater shot at it than anybody else would have, because our your scope is narrow. We're trying to not boil the ocean. We're trying to look at it from, what do I need to be able to build and run a business, and the things that come with it, and that is much finite. Like, I think we've been looking at this, for example, internal. Like, okay, we have about 350 different verticals. Great, we can literally run through those in a few weeks and just say, okay, how does the tool do for each of those, and find the gaps, and then keep focusing on those and addressing them. So the specific focus is what's going to give us, a really great shot at this problem, because we can create something that's unique and wonderful. And when you can do something that can give you that time back, give you that money back, give you that peace of mind back, I think that's going to be what customers will really enjoy and want to be part of it.
Yeah, and I mean the tool as it is today, it's in beta, so it's still being
Yeah.
built. What do you feel are the gaps that we need to address really quickly right now to be able to serve the customers that we are trying to serve with this tool today?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, immediate things are definitely going to be, I think, we try to get ourselves in a position where we can have a product that we can feel it's actually there, because, sometimes ideas are plenty. I mean, there's a lot of things that people think about, but you have to put it actually into action, put it into making something, and see, if that can prove the idea to the, sufficient extent that you can continue to believe. And so that's the journey we've been on, and the team has been aggressively pushing to get that done. And I think kudos to the team on how fast we have come where we are. So I think that has been a fantastic journey. I mean, I cannot believe, like, we launched a whole product in less than 3 months. I mean, that's just never heard of. I haven't seen it, especially not in a company like GoDaddy or any established company, because, companies that are established now, the whole innovator's dilemma. But not only that, they have like all the tech debt, they have all the other challenges that come with it. They're just hard to overcome. But we've been able to do that. So I think that's been fantastic. I think with that speed does come a little bit of, focus more on features being done, but not as much polish. And so I think the most important thing that we're going to try to do right now is, take some time and polish what we got to the extent that, can be something that is delightful for the customer. I think this is something that I also have been learning as we go. You will be delighted by the features, and polish will want you to then stick around. And I think, without those features, we wouldn't have been able to even claim anything. But now that we have it, if we can polish it and not have too many bumps in the road, I think that's going to make the customers that start using it to be our early customers, early adopters, and hopefully early evangelists. I mean, they will be the ones that will go tell our story, and I want that. And so you can't expect that if your product is giving them a lot of challenges along the way. So I think that's going to be our first and foremost things. Is going to be what we're going to focus on here in early couple of weeks of January. I'm excited for the team to come together in one place and actually just do that together, because that's just going to be a different mode that we can get in, and we can basically focus on just rapid iteration of find, fix, and get it delightful.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is going to be like a series of like multiple episodes and multiple videos that we do together. But one thing that you touched on today that I think is, I don't know, I don't want to be selfish, but I feel like it's very important to know about is, what does it take from your perspective to take a good product or a beta product and make it a wow product that serves those delightful moments for customers?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think fundamentally it comes down to, does it serve the purpose? Does it solve the problem? And does it do in a way that you don't even expect? And I think I see that now every day when our early customers we definitely are not looking at push it too many, but the customers that are using, you see that stars shining in their eyes when they're starting using it. Like there was this one of our colleague, actually, she shared this with her son, and he's like 13-year-old, and he's building a website for that's for his family. And he went through it. He ran through so many things and created something really unique. By the way, I think I was amazed to watch that. But then he ran out of tokens, and now his son is like, "Oh my God, I need to do this more. So what can I do to get it?" Not only that, I think the part that I think I was really super excited, but he now has a list of things that he's written down with pen and pencil and what I want to do next. So he's like, okay, as soon as I get my access back, these are the things I'm gonna do. So that story is what gives me belief that yes, we are onto something that's going to be amazing. And that kind of story is what I'm seeing every day. That is like, oh my God, I'm doing this, and now I can do that, and I could get it all the way. Like, and that's the powerful thing. I mean, you cannot replace the functionality with anything else. You can polish all you want, but if the functionalities doesn't exist or it doesn't take and deliver that, you basically are not like there. And so that to me is the fundamental thing. And I think that's where my belief in the whole product is coming from, just that part. Is like, we can create like all kinds of things so nicely and so uniquely. And again, we're not trying to talk about, hey, we're going to build the enterprise class applications. That's not what our goal is. We're looking at it for a small business. There's not going to be, and I think this is like a little bit of my own internal learning as I was going through the journey for last 3 years at GoDaddy about what our customers need. They're not building like applications that are like, oh, I'm going to get like 100,000 hits per request users per day. That's not their goal.
Yeah.
If they get like 25,000 in a month, that's a lot. And they're like extremely happy if they got that. That's awesome. I mean, that's their successful business. That does not take enterprise class applications. And I think that's the thing that we also have in our advantages. We need to create the applications that are for the 25,000 per month. So if you divide it by 30, it's like what? If 100 divided by 3 is what?
20.
100, yeah. So it's like very small per day. It doesn't take a lot. But if we can create that application just for you, for your business, and it's so well integrated that it just works seamlessly, why would you not want to use it? I think that is the powerful thing. That's what we can see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, I've been working on this with you and with the team for the past few weeks, and there have been a few nights where I was working until like my time, like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And I was so tired. And then I remember I was talking to my dad, and he's like, he turned 60 in August, and he has like a side project that he's been thinking about. And he was like, Nada, how can you help me? And he's been trying to get me to help him in the past few
Yeah.
months. And I was like, one night, this weekend, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use Airo Builder and I'm gonna build a prototype for him. He doesn't have a name for his business. He just has this idea. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to build him a prototype, send it to him, and be like, hey, Dad, what do you think? And I used two prompts, exactly two prompts, I remember. And I got something that I thought was like, it was okay. It's a good start. I sent it to him and he was like, wow, Nada, this looks like a very established company's website. Are they our competitor? I was like, no, I built this for you. And he was like, this is for me? I was like, yeah, I built you a website for your side project that you've been talking about for the past
Yeah.
few months. And he was like, I'm unable to sleep because of how amazing this is. And I swear that gave me the push this week to be like, you know what? I should work on this even more because
Yes.
this is just my dad, but there are millions of other
Millions.
people
Yes.
out there just like him. And a tool like this would actually might change their life.
Totally. I think that part is really something that I think I also like, and there's so many things that are unpacked in there that I think is what I see every time I look at this. It does things that you otherwise would need like so many days to do. Like think about your dad or think about any other small business owner that's starting to do some run business. And I think this is the part that I think people may or may not see it like obviously, but it comes from their reaction much more strongly, like what you're seeing in your dad's case. When we present them that, one or two prompt later, this is what your business looks like, they completely lose it because there's like, this is doing all the things that I thought about, but 10 more things that I didn't even think about
Yeah.
because that part is not even in their mind like, oh, I should have social proof because my business depends on like somebody telling somebody else that yeah, this dog sitter is good and he will not like torture your dog. That's a good thing. And having that in there on the second prompt or first prompt where it tells you like, hey, you gotta have testimonials, so do that, or you gotta have reviews so that you can get that. That is the powerful thing, and I think that gives you that chance. Or even like if your business is about that relies on people taking appointments, and when it says okay, I'm going to just create appointments for you because that's what you need for your business,
Yeah.
that unheard of. And I think that is the power that I think is very much there. And I think that's a great example. Like you said, somebody would think that, oh, there is professional, somebody has been running this for 10 years. That's their side. That's what it looks like. That's what you're showing me how we should do it. And I'm like, no, no, I did it for you. And I don't even know what your business is. And I don't even know anything else other than I have like one sentence from you or a couple of sentences from you that I need to know about it because the power of AI is right there. Power is you have now a knowledge of the world in your grasp and you can learn from everybody. Because I think this is the other thing that I have been, thinking about it. And I'm trying to like do my own little small business as well.
Hmm.
The thing that we see in these small businesses is they're always like a group, they're a community, they talk to each other, they learn from each other. But the learning is as fast as how many times you're going to be able to connect. So, like, one of the things that, yeah, I'm like, what I'm working on right now is a franchisee. So the franchise owner has a community and they try to bring us together once every month. Now, I don't have time, so I don't even make it to that. But even if somebody does, then they're like spending some time, an hour in a month, to learn from 100 others that are in that specific business to see what do I do better. That's what you're
Mhm.
trying to get from that conversation, right? And you might get like let's say 1% or 10%. Let's just say 10% you got out of that. But that's all you got. So your business got only 10% better by spending that time. But that's how you're going to learn. So now 90% you're not even learning, or you're going to just run into it by like just somehow hit your head into something. Oh, that's what I should do. But that process is going to be like years, and then you basically are not winning because you don't have those things in place. But
Mhm.
those we can give it to you on a day one,
Yeah.
and that's the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. And I think I saw that in a lot of the customer interviews where
Yeah.
customers were so surprised by, like, on the side, after they finished their first prompt, we would tell them, do you want to do this or that or this next? And
Yes.
every single person said, this is amazing. This is a delightful thing that you have put out there because because sometimes we assume that the customer knows what they want, but
Yeah.
we realized that most of the time they actually don't know what they want, and we need to prompt them and teach them that this
Yes.
is the next best thing for you to do.
100%. I think that right there is the real thing. And I think the product, and this is where I think if we go back and look at like what is this product about? These are the things that no other product has. I mean, that's what I think is special. That's the special things. Like, what you said, like it suggests to you, hey, we did this, but now do you want a dashboard so that you can manage all your booking? No other product is. You as a small business owner then are going to say, okay, okay, either I somehow integrated with a tool that already has it, so I'm going to use that, but then I need to know how to log in there, need to go somewhere else, look at those, then go back to my site and see what happened here. Now, all these are disintegrated. They're not, together. So what's going to happen is either you spend some developer to start bringing those together, so you're spending more money, or not do it, and then someday like, oh, there were bookings but I didn't even know about it because I was looking at something else, and then I didn't even ship those products, let's say, or what. There's just so many things that you lose in that, but we are going to be able to bring all of that together where you don't miss any of that. You don't have to learn those things. You don't have to create it on your own. You don't have to spend money for it. That I think is the thing that I think we're going to have to project and show these customers like, hey, we are going to be on your corner to really take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah. The main reason why I wanted to talk to you today was about commerce and checkout.com. And I still want to have this cut into two parts. I feel like the first part is amazing. Like this is
Yeah.
a great candid conversation, but I also want to have a second part where we show customers how you were able to integrate with checkout.com, because I know that commerce is a very, very important thing for our customers. And so customers always find it hard, or they have this like friction point where they don't
Yes.
know how to do it. And I would love for you to walk me through how you did the checkout.com. So if anyone else wanted to do this for checkout.com or any other payment method out there, they would be able to do it themselves.
Yeah. I think that's actually one of the things that we need to do a lot more. I'm definitely excited to do it because I think when we need to show these customers like what's possible, because I think the beauty with WordPress, and I think this is like a lot of things comes from there. Beauty with WordPress is WordPress made some of those things easier, because let's say you are in India and you want like Paytm, and somebody will create a plugin for Paytm, and then now you integrate in your WordPress site, and then now you start accepting that as a payment, and a lot of that was good. The pain was that it was created by somebody, you didn't know how to integrate it, you had to pay for it. And sometimes there's like one developer sitting there doing it, and then they decide that they find another job because some big company offered them, so they walk away. Now the plugin is not supported. So all kinds of problems. But at the end of the day, what they're doing is they know how to take the Paytm APIs, integrate it into something that then you can run into WordPress. I think those scenarios are going to be always there. And what we need to do is figure out how to make those possible easily. And Airo Builder absolutely does that really well. And we can definitely talk about it next time, and I'll walk through that. But what it does is it learns how these APIs, are built, and especially like the APIs that are popular, they are very well published. So LLMs know what it is, so they can basically, bring a lot of that knowledge. And what it does is then it allows us to integrate those kind of things much more seamlessly. So instead of as a business owner, you're having to either find who has the plugin and then pay for it and all of that. All you need to do is go say, this is what I want. And if those APIs are good and the and all that, we'll just build a custom integration for you, and make in the same day you can start collecting money or doing whatever else that particular integration is going to do. And that's very powerful. I think that's what I liked about integrating with checkout, integrating with Twilio. There's just so many that we can do. And I think the beautiful thing is like integrations is a great way that you can evolve. But the part I also like is when we integrate, we're integrating into an ecosystem, so then we can figure out how to do the right thing so that the integrations don't get out of sync, and as a result you lose the business or lose the customers, because that's the harder part of it with the integrations. Is they're good on surface, they integrate, but they also create boundaries, they also create challenges that are unintended consequences of those kind of integrations.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw what Dineth and I built yesterday. So we built an ordering app, And then he also went ahead and built like the kitchen app, and he got them connected to each other so that when someone uses the order app to order something, the kitchen app gets it instantaneously.
Instantly, yeah. And that's the
Yeah.
real problem. Like, I think, think about Toast as a whole company is built around something like that. They have basically the handheld terminals where you have the experience, you're putting something in. And actually, in fact, now it is even going further. Like you have QR scores on the table. You don't even have servers coming in. You
Yeah,
scan
yeah.
it, so this is what I want. How does that go into like payment part, but then also go to the kitchen part? Somebody makes an order, the waiter is assigned, waiter comes and delivers the food. I think that's the possibility, and that's the thing that is beautiful. Is like, and now you don't need anything. Like if you can, if your customers are comfortable with QR code and they all use mobile phones, then you eliminated like so many costs in your business because you don't need to buy any handheld terminals, you don't need to do any payments because payments are handled through the same QR code. So all of that stuff just happens like much more seamlessly. So you make the friction completely go away and customers are happy. I mean, I think
Yeah.
the world has moved on where they are like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. I don't want to be, fumbling with my cards and hand it to somebody who might steal it. Those problems just go away. Like you just bypass all those problems and you focus on creating the delightful thing. So give them the best food. Now you can use that money to get another chef and create like, much better. So, it's a great thing.
Yeah. I have one last question for you,
Yeah.
and it's a question that I've been asking everyone. What is the next feature that you're most excited about?
I think, I mean, every feature is going to be exciting. I think there's a lot more to do here, and we're not, we're like really like at the beginning point of this journey. I mean, the things that I think, see, when I look at the entrepreneurial journey, the biggest thing is you want to build a product and then you want to attract the customers. So I think marketing and getting really good ways for them to promote their product in a meaningful way, that's the biggest thing right away that I think we're going to launch very soon. I'm definitely excited about it and doing it in a ways that is like almost, taking care of marketing for you. I think that's what I want to push on. So it's going to take some work because naturally we think about we want, business owner to do all those things. And my push is no, 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 no. You do it and tell me what you think you're going to do. What's your marketing plan? If it is a restaurant, what should be a marketing plan? How do I get my inputs? What are the customers? Where are they going to be? Because, these are well defined, areas. Like, if you're looking at the restaurant, that, customers that you're going to get are from like, let's say 5 mile, 10 mile radius. That's the customer base that you get. Or maybe like, if you're in a Seattle, you might get like from some of the neighborhoods, which is fine. But you're reaching to them, then what's your modes to basically reach them? You're going to try to, definitely have a website and people can reach, but then there's going to be you want to, put the things in the Instagram reel so that they can be reached through that.
Mhm.
Or you want to put something on Facebook and understand who are the customers, or you want to get some list from somebody else that has like, hey, should send an inaugural list to everybody. And then you also need to start building your own lists when people come and do dine with you. How do you collect that information and then how you start using that meaningfully? Like what does it take for you to know that, hey, it's Nada's birthday next week, so let's send her a, hey, we're going to give you a half off, just come and join us. But that
Mm,
kind of thing that we can do, and it's not
yeah.
like, I mean, really good small business owners, they do that very well because
Yeah.
they learn these tricks over time. But how do I
Yeah.
give you that on the day one and give you the chance to maximum success? I think that's what you want. Because, imagine if you came one time, had a meal and enjoyed it. And it's not like you go to the same restaurant every day. Of course, there are some that I go like a lot, but that's a different me. But you typically don't go to the same place all the time. But if you find those meaningful things like, oh, this is a, let's say a celebration day of some kind, special celebration day that people go out and eat, send something on that day or something. So I think you just have to, deliver that holistic plan for the business. I think that's what we're going to try to do. And I think more we can get that right, I think there's a very good chance for us to help these small business owners become successful.
No, I
So that's
agree.
why
I
I
think
think, that's definitely the biggest thing. And again, I'm just looking at it from what steps we're going to take, because that's a big one. There's of course like few more steps and a journey that we will do, but those will take a little time, and I'm not as I will not get ahead of on some of those. But I mean, at the end of the day, we want us to be in a position where all the things that you as a small business owner need help with, GoDaddy and Airo Builder will take care of it for you, and you don't have to spend a lot of time and money. I mean, my dream is you can run your whole business on just a mobile app when you get there, where you're not doing anything other than you know, once in a while you just take a pictures because of whatever your business does, and it takes
Mm-hmm.
a shared with the builder, and builder just knows what to do with them. And it knows then how to read out the other tea leaves, like knows what the sales are, what kind of customers you're getting, or what are the opportunities happening, or who else is starting another business nearby, and what you should do about it. I think all those things that you will have to worry about, we worry about them. I think that's the longer goal, and I think it'll be fun to be able to deliver that. I think that's what gets me excited. I mean, I think like you said, I'm at a point where like I cannot sleep. I think I told you, like I cannot sleep. I just keep thinking about it all the time now. It's like, oh my God, what should I be? And I'm not thinking about just ideas anymore. I mean, that's the part that I think I realize is ideas is great, but we need to bring this to life. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely like, as you know, I'm pushing on every small thing. Like, how does it get done now? Like, why is that not done
Yeah.
yesterday? Because at the end of the day, delivering, great things will require us to have that, real big commitment from everybody. And when we can do that, and we have shown that we can do it, then we can really get to that part, because you don't have a lot of time to do these things. I mean, if we don't, somebody else will, and that's just the reality of it. But I think we got a team that is going to crush it, and I'm excited about it.
Me too. Me too. I love
Likewise.
that the potential and there are no limitations and we can do so much more with it,
Yeah,
which is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, no, very powerful. I think we have endless possibilities, and that's again, you don't get that kind of opportunity all the time in life. I think that's the part that I'm at, like, man, this is not something that I don't know if I would ever get another shot like this. I have done some really good things in life. This is like really special. This is like where you are going so much further in that, realization of value for the customers. That is just special. I think and I think the team being able to do what they're able to do, that's also special, because you can have these ideas, but executing them and making them happen is so hard. And I think we will have
Yeah.
to we'll have to we'll have to do a lot of work, and the team has been amazing at crushing it. And I think we have now, our problems are getting even harder. Like, I think we have to find ways to get it to the real customers, get it to many of them. And I think that's when our real job is starting now. So this is what I think, as we look at the motions for, and then helping customers see the product, and then helping and making that same kind of delightful outcomes. I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I agree.